How's it? Today is Monday, June 21st, and it's a snatch day today. Um, Nothing particularly weird today. This note is wrong. I'm not doing power snatch or hang power snatches today. Everything else after that should be, for the most part, correct. Yep. I am doing snatch from the ground and then hang snatch. So I'm going to sort of pick whatever weight I want and just go from there. Today was to go a little bit over 90, and so I ended up going to 93, which is the weight that I hit last Friday, coincidentally. I actually had a choice of whether or not I wanted to do snatch from the ground and then the hang snatch. So the choice was to do that complex or just to do hang snatch doubles. I wanted to snatch from the ground, so I definitely chose to do that, and sort of it was a game time decision. I had no idea what I was going to do moving into the workout like before I got here today. So I ended up going up to 93, as I mentioned. The warm-ups at like 80, 85 were probably some of the best snatches I've done from the ground in a long time. And I know I say that a lot, like thinking back at my older videos, but I don't think that those weights, or at least the quality of movement that I was able to achieve on those reps, were just atypical. My elbow doesn't feel too bad today. It's kind of stagnating wherever it's been for the last couple weeks. So here are those reps here. Look at that. That's 80. And I think the 85 is probably a little bit better. And then these hang snatches were some of the best hang snatches I've done in a while as well. The thing that I was thinking about here was just to make sure that I don't let the bar get out away from me. Steve was mentioning that that's happening a lot for the hang lifts. So I'm just doing my best. That was solid. I'm just doing my best not to allow that to happen by pulling in with my upper body, pulling my arms in a little bit better. 90 was solid here as well, but I don't think my hang snatch was as good. Step forward, but it is what it is. I'm still able to maintain that over the bar positioning, my shoulders over the bar. And here's my top set. I get put a little bit on my heels there, so I'm complaining. And the same thing happens on the hang snatch here. However, the movement is actually pretty solid. Extension is really good. Timing is just a little bit off, but it's okay. And then I actually end up doing down sets. So to mitigate a lot of the heavyweight movements over the course of the week, Steve mentioned to just go up to a top set and then do a bunch of down sets. And that's sort of in lieu of everything happening at work over the last week. So the last week was the first week where masks in California were no longer required, and so that meant that our restaurant itself would be opening every single table, so we'd be more or less at full capacity. So I've just been running around like a headless chicken, and my whole body just feels fried, like basically every night I work. But yeah, this is my last set for the snatch and hang snatch. I think as far as the step forwards that have been happening a lot, I think those are better to happen on the hang snatch than it is on the full snatch, just because I don't quite understand the positioning differences. Like, I mean, I understand it, but I am not completely adept at fixing that, if that makes sense. After that, I moved into something new here. This is a banded snatch deadlift. Well, it's not super new, but these are sort of to push to standing up straight and Steve was saying to sort of lift like Lasha here, where he gets to complete extension with his hips and then his upper body starts moving, but he doesn't move anything beyond that. I have a visual of him doing sort of shrugs at this position in my head right now, and that's what I was just trying to achieve here. Generally speaking, these banded snatches, I've been using the red band, but I looked at it today that we have 3 different colors. We have red, black, and blue, and they're all fairly similar. I think the red is a little bit longer than this blue one is, but the same thickness. So I ended up using the blue one just because there's only one red one, and if I break it, then I'll feel bad. There's a ton of blue ones. So after that, I moved into my snatch push press plus overhead squat. We're keeping it at 2+1s this week, and the goal is to go to 110 today. I don't know if I've done 110 in the last year. I think probably the last time I did 110 must have been at home, if at all. So it's a sort of a heavy weight to think about and put in my mind, you know. I end up going 60 or 20, 60, 90, and then 110. The push presses are not super hard, but they're also not super easy. I fail on this set actually. Can we just take a second to point out how luxurious my hair looks? Generally speaking, on Mondays I have my hair up, but I don't know, for whatever reason I decided not to do that today. So I fail that, and I just come back and I make the next 2 sets. It's not a big deal, in my opinion. One thing to think about here is, for me, is that the elbow is not really a factor here. What really is a factor is my positioning overhead. So the elbow is there, but my wrists actually take a lot of the stress of it being over my head. And so you can see me wobbling a little bit, but all of this is sort of wobbling on my wrists, and it doesn't hurt at all. And after that, I do a few accessories, just the barbell overhead hold. So I do this for 3 sets for 45 seconds, some pull-ups, and then my hollow body arms overhead GHD sit-ups. Overall, today it was pretty solid. I didn't miss any of the snatches, so that's really good. On quality of movement, I think was there as well, so I'm pretty happy with that. I am learning a lot about how to create separation by just watching other lifters. The American lifter that I watch probably the most is Nathan Damron. He has like a really unique way of, I guess it's not unique, it's a strong way of getting separation after extension, and so I'm just trying my best to emulate that. Here are the GHD sit-ups, and yeah, that's basically it for today. It was pretty long, but I got through most of it, and that's it. Thank you for watching. Shoots.